And we are now live. Okay. So, welcome you all to the Baseline Show. This is Samrat Kishore. I welcome you all to the Baseline Show every Wednesday at noontime EST, 6 p.m. Central European Time, and 10:30 p.m. IST. This is a special episode. We are in festive mood. This is all holiday season going on. So, we just wanted to quickly stop by and say hi to all baseliners across the world. So, we're going to start with something very, very, very dear to all of us, which is our dear baseline song.
No.
Baseline.
Is that a new remix, Samrat?
Okay.
Baseline.
No. Did you all get that? Oh, okay. I see. Because I'm getting it pretty loud in my headphones. Exciting. That's very exciting. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to try once again. I see. There is always this.
We get half a second.
Yeah, there is always this. There's always this configuration setting.
We can't hear you now.
I mean, I know there's something there, but I can't really.
Okay, I'm getting it pretty loudly now. So can you hear me okay? No?
No.
Okay, now. Oh, God.
It's amazing that how much aggregated
Yes,
technological
this is so much
experience,
tech.
knowledge.
This is so much tech right here. Anyway. It's important. So are you able to hear me okay, bud?
Yes.
yeah.
Now we can hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. So we're just going to say hi to everybody. First of all, I'd like to go ahead and wish everybody season's greetings. All of you, thank you so much for making it. Mark Carroll, you've been the most consistent attendee on the Baseline Show. Thank you so much. If there was an award, I would give that to you right today. And
should make one.
there is, yeah, we should make an NFT actually. You know, Mark, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for tuning in, Boris, today, and Charles. Charles, which part of the world are you in?
I'm in balmy Chicago. We're just finally thawing out from minus 40 degrees with that
Oh my God.
cyclone that rolled through.
Exciting. So yeah, why don't we kick this off and just go around, all of you, just wish the baseliners the best for the seasons, and then we call it a day. This is a special edition of the Baseline Show, so no baseline Gyan today, but uh, for anybody who's watching us, please do refer to our past videos. We, especially in the past 3 weeks. One was, of course, the General Assembly, but the two ZKP 101s, they were amazing, outstanding episodes on brushing up basics. This is the downtime that I enjoy. I personally make it a point to learn something new in this last week of the year when there's a lot of downtime and available time. So do pick it up. This is just 2 hours of pure learning, and especially the second episode just Andrea's awesomeness. The whole episode is so amazing. I'm just gonna I downloaded it and I've saved it for future references because many people are going to enjoy it in future as well, within baseline and outside. So yeah, with that I pass on to all of you, one at a time. Maybe Charles, you can get started and then we move on.
Fantastic. Well, season's greetings, everybody. I hope everybody's staying safe with the Yuletide season and spending time with their loved ones. I'm glad that we could still connect. I mean, it's been a remarkable year for Baseline. A lot of the followers that have been out there since going back to 2020 with the inception are finally seeing signs of life with the simple reference implementation that we're working on, the test harness. There's a lot of great things that we're going to be recapping and talking about for 2023. It's going to be a big year. Not to mention, a few of us are working on some really revolutionary use cases in financial services, healthcare and life sciences, and supply chain automation. So please stay tuned.
ESG as well.
and ESG. ESG is right up there with it. And don't forget about the ESG's big brother, GRC, right? Governance, risk and compliance. So, it's been a remarkable year. I appreciate the ability to collaborate with all of you and all the fellow baseliners. And Samrat, kudos to you for picking up the ball and driving the baseline show. Well done, my friend.
Thank you, Charles, and yeah, really appreciate the work that you're doing, and of course, happy to see what comes out of this, and how we can take this to the market. I think there is, as you rightly said, there is so much exciting stuff which is already happening within baseline, starting from SRI and test harness and the other things. I hope you're also working on the road mapping. The others, the TSC has been busy doing road mapping, so do send in your inputs for sure for the next year's roadmap. I'm really excited for seeing what comes out of baseline in 2023. Okay, so with that, I invite Boris.
Sure. Yeah. I usually listen in on YouTube, but today, since it's very quiet at the office, I'm working from home, but still the office is quiet, so I was able to get into the Zoom. So I think this was a really happy holidays to everyone. Happy, healthy, and enjoy your time with the family and everyone, family, friends. So I mean, I've been following Baseline, although I don't go on Zoom often in the last few months, but following it all and hope it's going to be a great year next year. Yeah, we're doing a little work on the side with Mark, not Mark Haddle, the other Mark. We're doing some work specifically on some use cases for finance. So hopefully next year we'll have something real. We talked about a bit and maybe spread the word a bit more in New York. Looking to go to some meetups and maybe present some things that we're talking about.
Right.
Right. Kind of looking at. So that's about it. Glad to see everyone and thank you, Samra, definitely for doing a great job. All the technical difficulties you're overcoming and making it look like fun.
It is fun, it is fun. End of the day, there is so much adrenaline rush, there's so much going on here. And I was like, yeah, was John doing it all, or is there something new that I'm doing? There's nothing new I'm doing. But then maybe John has more expensive equipment. I don't know. So but this is exciting. Thank you, Boris, for all the contributions in the past year, and I hope to see you around and to see you adding more value to the
making it more fun next year. Yeah.
Awesome. With that, we move on to Mark. Mark, over to you.
No, I mean it's really an exciting time. I mean, especially on the outreach team, to where we're really starting to shape the message out there to really understanding, like, getting away from the whole technical details and trying to tell everybody what's all cool it and everything about it. We want to say, this is what it means for you. This is what your rosy new life is going to look like when you adopt the baseline protocol. That's really what we want to put together. Your cycle times are reduced to mere minutes or even seconds. Your back office reconciliation gone, and you can now synchronize all of your data sets within this multi-party process environment that it extends beyond your corporate borders and beyond your security profile and everything, and to really distill everything down into three basic buckets. How can you make money, save money, or stay out of trouble, and keep it that simple. I mean, I think within emerging technologies, there's a kind of a tendency to want to kind of get as many stuff out there going on. This is, we were all talking about blockchain, and then everyone's moving to AI, and now everyone's running to that chat GPT. Like, hey, this is gonna sit there and go
that's
out
a
there.
Different beast.
And it's great, but I mean, it makes everybody look at to say, your output's only as good as your data that you have. An educated guess is still a guess, but you want to make it as educated as possible, have that high confidence interval that it is going to be correct. really, how do you verify, all the integrity of that data when you're pulling it from different sources and all, in different flavors and, taxonomies and all that other stuff. How do you make sure all of it is together so that your AI engine can, it can come up with the correct and proper output from it and stuff. So, a lot more of watching that space, but, a lot of times, you kind of sit there and, find out the reality of where John Wolpert was talking about, saying that, boring is the new exciting. And boring is because, it's not something that you think about. It's not something that's going to be on a fashion runway or a Formula One track somewhere else. But hey, it's something you deal with every day. And if we make it really easy for you to do, that means that you have time or, less aggravation to, pay attention to something else. So
Yeah.
this is the year that we want to, especially with the SRI and the test harness, showing the world, hey, this works. And you're not having to, get rid of your expensive systems.
Yeah.
Either is your counterparty. This is a way of tying them all together. Yes, it's that simple.
Yeah. And then
So,
somebody was asking me, what's the real value of baselining? Tell me one thing. And I was like, one thing, I'm removing a lot of frustration out of the system.
what? At a baseline?
Yeah, because of baseline, a lot of frustration will go out of transactions. So that is
Completely.
the number one value, mental wellness.
Well, but I mean, even if you think of to where, you've got to, especially when it comes to like, certain environments or use cases to where you've got to report to some regulatory authority, but you have to draw from data that's not yours, but it's got to be included in your reporting mechanism. How do you, how can you include that without, you or your counterparty, upending your, security profile, or, staying within the guardrails of your corporate policy. How can we actually do that? I mean, ESG that we mentioned earlier. I mean, when you have a lot of these companies that are having to, report on this, well, you don't have that full vertical integration that, used to be so big back in the early 20th century and stuff. You've got, how do you know that your component part manufacturer, your vendors are all on the same ESG footing that you are, because you are going to have to attest that they either are or are close to it. So, and they're not going to want to share that. They're not going to want to share that data with you, but you got to include
Right.
it. So that was just one. But anytime when you've got people that are working off of different data sets, they may have gotten it from different places, but we need to know that it's all synchronized. But I can't show it to you. It's that beautiful thing, about zero knowledge, which thankfully is getting so much more attention right now.
Totally.
Well, but
Yeah.
even conceptually, to where it's like, humans are flawed creatures. I mean, I'm not going to believe something until you show it to me, until I see it, put it in front of me. Yeah, well, I can't do that, and it's never going to happen. But what I can show you is a mathematical proof showing that we both match up. Does that cross your threshold? And people are like, well, yeah. I said, I can't give you, it's the next best action. It is the next best thing. So, and do we really need the full data set? We don't need that. We just need to know certain attributes. So this is a way of making that happen without having to do all these manual workarounds and these different processes around it. So
Totally. So we have a new guest here. I think it's Federico's first time. Can you hear us?
Hello, guys. Yes, I can hear
Hey.
you. I've been invited by Dom Style, my CTO, to join this call, and the Christmas or the holidays have been generous enough to give me the chance for once to finally
Super.
finish one of my calls early and make it to the call.
Super. So tell us more about yourself and where are you joining us from, and do you have any message for the baseline community?
I am joining from my company's StateSet. I am calling in from my house in Del Rey, in Florida, which means that we've gone from an actual real winter for the past. The winter in Florida has been brutal for about 48 hours, and now we are back to the usual 70 degrees today. So I am responsible at Stateside for anything that has to do with marketing and supporting the sales team, and some elements of course, the go-to-market strategy for Stateside.
Interesting. Awesome. This is awesome. You're welcome to join us on future shows as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And tell us more about what you're doing, and if you like Baseline, what are the real use cases that you see in Baseline, off Baseline, while you're doing what you do. Exciting. So seems like this is going to be a multi-party new year. let's just call it that. And yeah, from my side, it's the time to rejoice. A lot of hard work has gone into living through this year, the past couple of years. So I would say, kick back and just relax with your families and friends and have a good time. While we are building this great thing together, I hope that 2023 is the year when finally big applications start baselining and big companies start baselining and the standard gets ratified. I think that is something which is need of the hour. We all need that, the standard getting ratified and released to the general public. So yeah, I hope it happens very, very soon. And once again, a very happy New Year and happy Hanukkah to everybody who's watching us and who's involved in the baseline community. Any signing off words, guys, before we close?
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be the year of the enterprise for the maturization of blockchain-based initiatives. Like, we're seeing the tipping point happening that's really going to catapult into real world use cases that have real world value. I think that's really the fundamental thing that excites me about rolling into the new year, is that it's not about speculation. It's not so much about just how do we tokenize the world. Let's find the real world use case and use the right tool for the job. And as such, as Mark and you pointed out, zero knowledge is getting particular interest because it shows significant promise to alleviate a lot of the pain points that we have with these heterogeneous type of process environments that transcend so many different industries. And there's no way that we can throw out the baby with the bathwater with all the legacy systems that everybody has invested in, right? So we're entering into this new hybrid environment where I think that there's going to be a considerable amount of transformation. A lot of the conversations that I've been having with very senior individuals that are in technology and healthcare and finance and governance and legal are really tuning in to say, okay, I think we're now getting ready and it's now starting to make sense. Let's roll up our sleeves and get after it. And that's what really excites me about what we're going to be talking about and working on with the community in the coming 12 months. So stay tuned. It's going to be a wild ride.
Excellent. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's special episode. Once again, happy holidays, everybody, and enjoy. Stay safe.
Thank you.
And see you next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Happy
Take
New Year,
care.
everybody.
Happy New
Thank you.
Year. Bye.
Happy